The Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid industrial growth that changed the world forever. But behind the machines and the factories, there were the unsung heroes. Today, we delve into their stories. As we continue to explore the untold stories of the unsung heroes of the Industrial Revolution. I want to take a moment to ask for your support. If you're finding value in these deep dives into history, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your subscription not only helps us grow, but it also ensures you won't miss any of our future content. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us understand what kind of content you enjoy and want more of. Lastly, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Who are some unsung heroes of the Industrial Revolution that you think deserve more recognition? Or perhaps there's another period in history you'd like us to explore? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, every like, comment, and subscription makes a huge difference and allows us to continue bringing these important stories to light. Thank you for your support and for being a part of our community. And now let's dive right in. Come step back in time. Imagine a world where everything is done manually, from sewing clothes to grinding grains. Now, let's travel back in time to the era that changed it all, the Industrial Revolution. This was a time of great minds and groundbreaking inventions. Meet James Watt, a Scottish inventor who took the steam engine to a whole new level. His improvements made it more efficient and practical, sparking a revolution in industry and transportation. Then there's Eli Whitney, an American inventor who changed the face of agriculture with his invention, the cotton gin. This machine could separate cotton seeds from the fiber faster than any human could, revolutionizing the cotton industry. These inventors were pivotal, but they were not alone. They were part of a larger movement that transformed our world, setting the stage for the modern era we live in today. Who else was part of this revolution? Stay tuned to find out in our next video. There were many others, like Richard Arkwright, who invented the water frame. Now, you might be wondering, what's a water frame? Well, it's a machine that uses water power to spin cotton into thread. This invention was a game changer in the textile industry. It allowed for the production of cotton thread at a much faster rate than ever before. This not only revolutionized the way clothes were made, but also played a significant role in the Industrial Revolution. And then there's John Kay, who invented the flying shuttle. This might sound like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's actually a device used in weaving. It dramatically increased the speed at which cloth could be woven, making the process more efficient and cost-effective. This invention, like Arkwright's water frame, was a major contributor to the Industrial Revolution. These inventors may not be household names, but their contributions were just as important. They were the unsung heroes of their time, their inventions laying the groundwork for the modern world as we know it. Their innovative spirit and determination to improve the world around them is truly inspiring. It's a reminder that every invention, no matter how small it may seem, can have a profound impact on society. So, the next time you put on a cotton shirt or use a piece of cloth, Remember Richard Arkwright and John. They may not be household names, but their inventions have touched our lives in what the Industrial Revolution was not just about inventions. It was also about the people who operated these machines. The factory workers, the miners, the laborers, they were the backbone of the revolution. Let's take a moment to really delve into their world. Picture this. The sun hasn't even risen yet, and the factory workers are already on their way to the mills. The air is thick with anticipation and the smell of oil and metal. These men and women, some as young as 10, are about to start a grueling 14-hour day. In the mines, it's a similar story. The miners descend into the dark, narrow tunnels, their faces illuminated only by the flickering light of their lamps. The work is dangerous, the conditions harsh, but these brave individuals press on, driven by the need to provide for their families. And then there are the laborers, the unsung heroes of the Industrial Revolution. They built the railways, the bridges, the factories. They laid the very foundations of the world as we know it today. Their work was physically demanding, often perilous, but they carried on, their spirits unbroken. These people, the workers of the Industrial Revolution, were not just operating machines, they were making history. They were shaping the future with their bare hands, paving the way for the technological advancements we enjoy today. So, as we marvel at the inventions of the Industrial Revolution, let's not forget the human element, the sweat and toil of the workers that powered this extraordinary period of change. Working conditions during the Industrial Revolution were often harsh. Picture this, laborers, both young and old, toiling away for up to 16 hours a day. The factory air was thick with dust, making it difficult to breathe. The noise from the machinery was deafening, a constant, relentless hum that workers had to shout over just to be heard. The pay was meager, barely enough to cover the basic necessities. Many workers lived in overcrowded slums, with entire families crammed into single rooms. Despite the hardships, they had little choice but to continue working. Unemployment was a fate even worse than the grueling factory work. The environments they worked in were fraught with danger. Machinery lacked safety features we take for granted today. A moment's inattention could result in a serious, even fatal, accident. Yet, there were no laws to protect these workers, no compensation for injuries sustained on the job. But amidst these grim conditions, there was a spark of resilience. These workers, in their own way, were revolutionaries. They were the driving force behind an era of unprecedented growth and innovation. They persevered, day in and day out, fueling the engines of what we now know as the Industrial Revolution. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of progress. They also highlight the importance of labor rights and workplace safety, issues that are still relevant today. As we continue to advance and innovate, let's not forget the labor movements. Workers banded together to fight for better conditions, paving the way for labor rights we enjoy today. But what does this really mean? Let's take a step back and delve deeper into the history of labor movements. In the late 18th and early 19th centuries, the Industrial Revolution brought about significant changes. Factories sprang up everywhere, and people left their farms and small towns to work in these new industrial hubs. But the conditions they found there were far from ideal. Long hours, low wages, and unsafe working conditions were the norm. This is where the labor movements come into play. Workers realized that they had power in numbers. They began to form unions, organizations that represented the workers and their interests. These unions would negotiate with the factory owners and managers for better conditions and fair pay. One of the most significant early labor movements was the 8-hour day movement. Workers fought for a more balanced work life, advocating for 8 hours of work, 8 hours of recreation, and 8 hours of rest. This movement was a turning point in labor rights history and set the standard for the modern workday we are accustomed to today. But the fight was far from easy. There were strikes, protests, and even violent clashes. Many workers risked their jobs and their lives to stand up for their rights. And their efforts were not in vain. The labor movements of the past have shaped the work conditions we have today. They paved the way for laws and regulations that protect workers' rights and ensure safe and fair working conditions. So, the next time you clock out after your 8-hour workday, remember the labor movements and the brave workers who fought for the rights we enjoy today. The Industrial Revolution, a period that forever changed the course of human history. It was during this time that the world as we knew it began to transform. The once quiet hum of manual labor was replaced by the thunderous roar of machinery. The landscape of our cities, once dominated by the natural world, became a sea of smokestacks and factories. This was a time of great innovation and technological advancement. The machines that were born during this period were not just tools. They were the harbingers of a new era. They brought about a shift in the way we work, replacing manual labor with mechanized processes. This was not just a change in the physical act of work, but a fundamental shift in our society's structure. The technology that was developed during the Industrial Revolution laid the groundwork for the modern world. From the steam engine to the telegraph, these inventions have shaped our lives in ways that our ancestors could never have imagined. They have allowed us to connect with each other across vast distances, to travel at speeds unimaginable to previous generations, and to build the modern world that we live in today. But the Industrial Revolution was not just about machines and technology. It was a period of social and economic change that has had profound effects on our society. The way we work, the way we live, and the way we interact with each other, all of it can be traced back to this pivotal period. So, as we delve deeper into the story of the Industrial Revolution, let's remember that it's not just a tale of machines and factories. It's the story of us, of our journey from the past to the present, and the technological leaps that have shaped our modern world. So here's to the unsung heroes of the Industrial Revolution. The inventors, the workers, the pioneers, they are the ones who truly changed the world. But let's take a moment to really appreciate what that means. These were not just people who clocked in and out of a factory each day. They were visionaries, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Imagine being an inventor during that time. Every new creation wasn't just a personal achievement, but a stepping stone for humanity. They were laying the groundwork for the world as we know it today. And the workers, they were the backbone of this revolution. Their sweat and toil powered the machines that drove progress. They worked long hours in challenging conditions, but their efforts were not in vain. They were part of something much bigger than themselves. The pioneers, they were the risk-takers. They ventured into uncharted territory, both literally and figuratively. They built new industries, new cities, and new ways of life. They didn't just adapt to change. They were the change.so when we talk about the Industrial Revolution. We're not just talking about a period in history. We're talking about a group of extraordinary people who dared to dream and work towards a better future. And for that, they deserve our recognition. Come, step back in time.